What's up, creepers and here's Chris the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? It's been a little while since we've done a little bit of hunting on the old Facebook Marketplace. Doesn't look like too much has changed. In fact, these first three here in a row, maybe even this fourth one, we've seen these. I believe some of these are gone too. Yeah, they sold the ones that were worth anything. When I say worth anything, I mean playability. Anyhow, $80 with box. Let's see. It turns on the screen, blah, blah, blah sound. Oh, the controllers don't work. Oh. A couple of things could be happening there. I doubt both controllers are dead. I bet you there's either a broken pin, they haven't plugged it in all the way, or because those tend to be a little tight, and people wiggle to get it in there when you shouldn't, you should just find that spot and just kind of coast it on in there. I wonder if a couple of the pins aren't broken. I don't know. I have a console that's like that. Or the solder could just need reflowing because, again, what I was saying is people wiggle it and it loosens it from the board. There's these pins that go through the board, and it's real easy to crack the solder connection, but yeah, I don't know. I was hoping to see this would be the second one or not. I can't tell from the top. We don't see the face. Price is firm. Oh, it's $15. If it turns on, it's worth it. It's worth it for a couple of hours of fun. Here we go. Atari $7,890. Original 7800. Original power cord. 2 new Hyperkin Trooper controllers. Tested. Player recently. Functions. Blah, blah, blah. The dent in the face is because I dropped my dick on it. Power pack where plastic coating is starting to split. Wait, what? The electrical tape on the base of the power pack. Oh, that's dangerous. That's not cool. But that's better than not having one at all because this power supply is kind of a pain. I mean, you could buy them. I bought mine. No problem. In the box, too, for really nothing. But, yeah, no, honestly, I don't know, $90? If you don't have one already, sure, I don't see why not. The only thing that's bugging me about it is you don't have the original controllers, or at least one. And I'm not going to say anything negative about the Hyperkin ones, other than the ones that came with the Retron 77 were garbage. I don't know if the ones that they're selling now are better. I seem to remember that being the case, but yeah, I don't know. All right, $150 in Lynn, $5,200. The North Shore. Okay, controllers don't work well. No shit. But console is clean. It comes with a handful of games. Actually, I think we did look at this one before because this is it. This is what you get, this picture. You don't see games. You don't know what the titles are. You don't get to see the console. It looks like it's a 2-port, but yeah, I think we've seen that one before. I know we've seen this one. This one here. I would say they're way off on the cost. $120 for all these? Nah. I'd move on. Or cherry pick. If you need anything in there. What is this? Oh, I think we've seen this one. Yep. If you go back, I made a joke about the 233 model and how it's, oh my God, it's a 233. Jump on that. This is not bad, $100, 20 weeks ago, which means it's very negotiable at this point. Or they'll just ignore the message because it's so old. Burlington, it's not too bad. No, I hate getting on 128 South, but whatever. It's a 4-switcher, small stack of games, 4 controls. I know 2 of them go to the flashback. But if I'm reading that correctly, that's a flashback 2, correct? Yeah. Flashback 2s are a little more desirable. You can tap into those. You can... you can attach a cartridge port to it. As a matter of fact, I have, it's not out here anymore, this thing called the Cigari 2600 that a buddy of mine gave me years ago. And it's one of these inside of a cigar box. How crazy is that? But they attached a cartridge port to it. Works fine. Oh, excuse me, $100. You know what? I was still trying to get it for $75, but that's a great deal. That's a great deal for anyone local who wants to cruise on up or down to Burlington. Which one is this? It's definitely not the 2, and I want $20 firm. These things are for sale all over the place around here. I see them in individual groups and all kinds of stuff. $50, 9 games. I don't know. I suppose $50 for any 9 games is fair. It's $10, under 10. That's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, so that's more than $5 a game. And unless you absolutely needed one of these, I wouldn't even bother with it. You talk them down, obviously, if you want the stuff. But so what in the unholy fuck is going on here? $160 from originally $100, or is that an 80? Maybe that's 180. It could be. It could be 180. That makes a lot more sense. But what all is going to come with $160? That's it. Wait, honestly, is that really it? A crusty console that's going to need complete restoration. All right, so this is what we're talking about with the pins right here. You see all the space? That's there on purpose to give you a little bit of wiggle room. But the problem is it separates from the board, or these pins get broken, and everything's all goofy. So whenever you go buy in a console, look at this. Make sure all 9 pins are erect. But this right here, is there an individual picture of it? Okay, it comes with a USB, and I can't tell if this is a USB input, but what I'm thinking this is, it's one of those Commodore joysticks that had games built in. Before the Commodore, Mini came out, the 2 different versions of that, there was this, and I believe you could actually use a keyboard with it somehow. There was a way people tapped into it. I am pretty damn sure that's one of those. I could be way off, because they did use this case for a couple of different plug-and-plays. But looking at the USB here, I'm willing to bet that's that. And I don't know what those go for. This is random for your cell phone. There's not $160 if you doubled this. I don't know what these are worth. Someone tell me in the comments if you're a little more into the C64 stuff. I'd be interested in grabbing this and trying it. But, I don't know. Do they say anything about it? No. Sold as a lot. Do they normally do? Now, when I look at these folks, do not go harass them, please. No, they find crap at yard sales and stuff like that, and they try to sell it. Looks like they're more to like classier, antique-y type stuff. So sometimes you have to educate these people, but there is $50 here if you ask me, and that's not considering what the C64 joystick would be. But I mean, you get nothing with the console. You have nothing with the console but a couple of shitty-looking games. Great games, but that doesn't mean anything if they're crap. I've seen this one before. This is just games and a couple of controllers. It wants $100 for it. And you got all your staples here. We got a couple of doubles though. You got 2 Pac-Man, I believe. I believe Asteroids gets. Yep. You got 2 different labels of Asteroids. This looks like, I think, the Sears version. Yeah, Indy 500, which I don't know. That could be. Hold on. Let's open this image up. That could be a driving controller. Oh no, right here. That was a driving controller. I don't know why I didn't even bother looking at that one. All right, so you can at least play the Indy 500. We will be getting back to that controller. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for it to get a little nicer out so I can spray paint on it. Maybe we'll physically get it done in-house, the soldering and everything, and then we'll customize it. We'll make it a 3-part series. But regardless, I don't know. $100, I wouldn't offer them. I'd offer them closer to 50, and then work from there. Not expecting to pay 50. We've seen this, but start at 50 and aim for like $65. Jesus Christ, 500. What? Okay, they get a lot of stuff here. I know these controllers. Oh, whoa! Hold on. Do they have a picture of that? I gotta read this description. Look at another nipple head. Doesn't clean the console. You want top dollar for your product, but you're not willing to take 5 seconds to wipe it down. And are there controllers in there? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I can see the buttons. Why are they upside down? It looks like they fit great that way, though. Look at that. That's clean. But what do we got for games here? We got a couple of Atari soft games, or at least one right here. So I can't I'm assuming that goes to the ColecoVision, but most of these are all Atari cartridges. Got a handful of controllers. These controllers here, expansion module 1, not really worth too much. There we go. This is what I wanted. These controllers here are great. They don't work very well, but they're just one of those cool things. I mean, just to hold it, this is a better joystick than what's on the actual controller. But this right here, oh my God, I want it. Look at that beautiful thing. I want to try one of those so bad. I've never had this one, but that's pretty rad. $525. I'm not seeing that here. No matter. Okay, so untested Atari and ColecoVision consoles with accessories, controllers, plugs, and games. Okay. Let's go back and see if we have all the plugs. I know we definitely have the Coleco one. Look at that mammoth bastard right there. Do we see an Atari one in this one somewhere? Because they want so much, I'm nitpicking the hell out of this bad Larry. It could be in here. I'm not going to really investigate too much. Everything's in capital letters, so I bet you there's some fuckery coming. Neither of them seem to do anything when plugged in. I don't know if they're supposed to or not. Maybe good for parts. Maybe good for parts at $525? This has to be a troll. Seat picks and everything, okay, included. Games and controllers are worth more than what I'm asking. No, this is a fucking troll. Selling as a bundle as is. Oh, they're from Billerica. You can't blame them. Let's go see what else they got going on. All right. Do not harass Joanne here. Okay? Do not harass her. I just want to see what else they're selling. Fold down table. We got some sneakers. We got a X-Men game for the Genesis. Barking controller for a dog. Got a bunch of Indiana Jones here. Oh, the young. I've never played that. I've tried to play the other ones, but. All right, so they don't really do much as far as games concerned anyway. Probably another person that goes around looking for stuff and just finds random things and. Oh. I'm not into Spawn, but that thing looks sick as fuck. $60. Let me know in the comments if that's worth it, toy guys. I won't pay $60 for that. I'll give someone $20 for that. I don't collect Spawn, nor do I even care about Spawn, but that's pretty badass. I want to paint it. Okay, well, we can see that video games are not their specialty. They're kind of like a little of this, little of that, bada beep, bada boop, you know? 500, it's, okay, let me tell you something, guys. And this is how serious we're getting. This is how serious we're getting. I'm changing the point of view here. It's rare that an ad really makes me pissed off. It's rare. And that lady done did it. She did it. All right, let's look at a couple more and then I'll let you go. Bags. What is this? Atari Games console, 15 Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Space Invaders, just a few to mention. Does it come with the Ninja? I should message her and say, hey, if it comes with the Ninja, we have a deal, and then block her because I don't want to buy it. Oh, seeing that plate right there changed my mind completely. Make me an offer. Okay, so this Sears Telegames could be a special unit. If you go back to, God, it's back when my doctor had me on Percocets, and you can definitely tell that pissed me off so much. I did a video called A Heavy Sixer versus the Heavy Sixer. And what I meant by that is there are some Heavy Sixers. Okay, let me rephrase that. There are some USA-made Sunnyvale 6-switch consoles that have the thin rails. They came out of the Sunnyvale factory with the thin rails. It for both Sears and official Atari branded consoles. And the only real difference is, obviously, is the plastic rails, but the interior, everything on the inside is still a Heavy Sixer. So some people still consider that a Heavy Sixer, but not the Heavy Sixer. And I hope people, for some reason, they just can't grasp that concept. A versus the. The one with the thick rails is the one. That's it. But you can still have a heavy sixer because it's more about the components, not just the plastic. The components are heavy as fuck. But you can have them with the thin rails. And there are some game shops, at least back in the day, that would treat them equally. And what's making me say that is because it has the speaker holes. Let's break another fallacy. The Atari 2600 never, ever had a speaker built into it. These were here because the Pong units at the time all had an internal speaker. All sound came from that. And I think they were designing the case and everything. This is speculation, but they were anticipating it needing its speakers, so they made these little spots. If you open one of these up, this whole area, I was about to point to the screen with my hand that you can't see. This whole area is empty. There's nothing here. The board comes to about roughly here. And if this is a internally heavy sixer, then you do have a big metal thing right here. But yeah, that's pretty cool. A lot of them do have this, but since you can see it, I figured I'd bring that up. That's a video I'd like to revisit someday. But $50, yeah, I would take that without even. Without even question. I would say I'll give you $50 for that. I wish I had the $50. I'd go to Taunton tomorrow. But yeah, no, that's a great deal. That's a great deal. Comes with a nice. We didn't even look at the games. You could just stop at the console, but you have a bunch of games here that look like, some staples. A couple of, not as common, but games that we don't celebrate as much. Everything in it is fairly common. So links, we don't see too many links popping up. Sorry about that. It's got the usual screwy screen. 180, I don't know. I'd still try to talk them down. Comes with a few games. I have a couple of these posters somewhere. I should have given them away when I sold my links. Ninjas, hockey. Steel Talons is if it's the game I'm thinking of, it's not bad. I might be thinking of Blue Thunder, actually. But, yeah, $180. It comes with a case. And a power supply. I don't know. With the screen, I would talk them down to like $125. I think $125 would be more than fair. Because you're going to be spending about $100 just to get that screen going again. So, unless you just want a shelf puppy, So, $40. That's a good deal, no matter what you're looking at. Let's see. Is this no, it's not going to be. You can just tell by the serial number it's not going to be an example of what I was talking about. I haven't clicked on this because we already looked at this before, and I think that's just that's ridiculous. $650 for an Atari Jaguar. I don't care how rare or uncommon they are. That's poopy money. That's no good. That's ungood. Not even close, kid. $300 is fair, and if you have a couple of games, whatever. But interesting that they didn't put an end label on this cartridge. I'm just noticing that now. So $125. We got another box console. Is this that same dude? It might be. Comes with a few games. Yeah. We've already looked at this one. It's up. They've posted it a few times. Let's look at this one. $60. Oh, it's in Connecticut though. Well, if you guys are in Connecticut, wait a minute, this might change my mind a little bit. First of all, $60 for this is a great deal. Regardless, if you're in Connecticut and you're looking for a 4-switch Sears Telegames, which is not as common as the 6-switch, which is not as common as the heavy sixer, which is what I started on. This is a great deal. I wish I was closer. I want to zoom in on this a little bit, though. This doesn't appear to have any kind of cracks. A lot of times you'll see cracks with tape over it, like packing tape. Or you'll just see this part here with nothing on it. But what's more important is this has the burl wood on the face instead of just a regular straight wood grain that a normal Atari would have. So this is customized to, and I shouldn't say customized, but a sold companion piece to the Sears Telegames version of the VCS 2600. What a great deal in Connecticut. Let's see, working. See that? Working. You got people here like, I've tested it. It works no problem. Or whatever. at a reasonable price. Actually, $100 would be more than reasonable for this. But we're not going to talk them up to $100. Comes with games shown as well as cables, controllers, and this storage case to hold it all in. This is a fantastic deal. I'm going to save it just for fun. Maybe once I get my job. I've had 2 interviews yesterday. Same company. I had to go in the morning, and then I had to go back in at 10:30 at night to meet with the overnight supervisor. I'm turning it down because it's not what I'm looking for. $25 an hour, though. I feel like I made a big fucking mistake, but yeah, I don't know. I'd buy this just to do the video because I know it would do fairly well. And I'd probably just give it away. $25. Yeah, not bad. Not bad for the games in it. Let me know if you have one of these if you like it. I hate these to begin with. It just doesn't matter what the games are. But yeah, you know, it was one of those It was one of those jobs where we'll just look at a couple more, and I'll tell you about my job hunt here. It was one of those things where I was going to be working on an extrusion machine, and I just finished getting my certifications for electronic assembly. So I'm looking for something that I can take a bunch of already made things and put it together to make a new made thing. Whether I'm soldering it or screwing it together or a combination of anything like that. And this was just standing in front of a machine watching plastic extrude catheters. So the money was right, and I feel like I made a mistake. The people were rad. The pay is great. It starts at $25 an hour, and then when you become full-time, meaning it was through like their own staffing agency, I think it's got something to do with taxes or something like that, or maybe even insurance. And if they like you, they'll, you know, and I've worked through the staffing agency before in Arizona. I'm not going to say the name of them, but they did me very well out there, and I got a really good job. I was a permanent employee within a month. So I'm not worried about that because my skills will show. Unless, of course, they tell you that, you know, that this is just a contract job, and when it's done, it's done. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like I screwed up. I don't want to sit there and look at one part being made over and over again. I didn't just go get these certifications and all this stress to just take a job I could have just fucking gotten. Honestly, she even said your certifications aren't even worth anything here, unfortunately. But the reason she contacted me was because the school lady that helps with the job placement and all that and the resumes sent them my resume, which I'm appreciative. So I messaged her back. She said, "Hey, how'd it go?" So I said, "Look, you know, it's not for me. You know, everything's great, but let's look more into the other positions where there is assembly work." I haven't heard back from her. I think she's going to be petty about it. It was very professional how I wrote it, but whatever. $60 their best offer for $5,200. Unless they see something else, we'll just leave it at that. Especially, okay, Groveland, Mass. That's a little out of my way, but it turns on and works. But I could not get the picture to come in clear on my television. That a lot of times can be an easy. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. The issue could be the adapter, power cable, or the television. Okay, all right. As long as you're admitting that. If I had more time to clean it up and everything. I wonder, are there any games coming? Try to fix it. Maybe you can. $60 is not a bad starting place for any 5200. But you have to want a 5200 to go buy a 5200. And what I mean by that is, I know this is common knowledge, but in the event someone's using this as an Atari buyer's guide, don't. You're going to have a lot of struggles and heartache with a 5200. It's a fantastic system when you can get things to work well. But that controller, man, it just was not engineered properly. And it just makes things so much more difficult. There are options out there. There are alternative options out there now that make things a little bit easier. So, by all means, that's a great deal. If you oh shit, let's go back to it. It's a great deal. I think $50. I think if I offered this cat $50, Groveland, Mass, I'm not driving out there. I think $50. $50 would be very fair for this. It's only got one controller, and God knows if it even works. But a lot of times when it comes to your picture, it's about just cleaning connections, honestly. Honestly. So I would take the risk at that at 60, but still offer 50. And try to be a little firm on that 50. What were we just looking at? We'll do this one for the last one. The 7,800. Okay, 7,800, $75 or best offer. So far, I'm kind of on board. The power supply is there. I just have to see if the end is good. I would ask that. I would definitely, can I get a picture of the plug itself? You know, the thing that connects into the console. If they're further away, like this here in Manchester, New Hampshire, that's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. So it would be a little drive. It would definitely be a day. Maybe stop and have lunch halfway between all of it. But, yeah, you could buy the new and improved 7800 for $60 or more, but you won't get the original controllers with it. Mine, you will. It's a good fucking point. I like how he put that in there. He's already got a fair deal going on here as far as I'm concerned. Again, I would still talk him down to 50. All right, enough of that. Let's look at the... All right, see, he's got the original controllers, unlike that other one that had the Hyperkin. If the Hyperkin one had one original controller, then I think his price would have been fine. But let's see, 2 games, original controllers. Oh, no, I'm sorry. These just kind of blended in. There's no paddles here, so you get 2 games you're not really going to be able to play too well from there. You got Adventures of Tron, which is pretty fun. Berserk, fantastic game. Pac-Man, which is a pretty fun game. I don't give a fuck what you say. It just doesn't look like the original Pac-Man, and that's the only complaint you can really have. Flicker. Oh, no. Never bothered anybody in my house. My sister smashed on Pac-Man. She was one of those turning the thing around, you know? She doesn't even like video games, but Pac-Man really spoke to her back in the day. And she has one of those tabletop ones that you can buy like at Walmart or whatever, the Target, you know, it's a little flat thing, but it's like this tall. She was so proud of that when I came over. She's like, "Did I show you my Pac-Man machine?" I'm like, "Oh no, she got one of those not the Act games, but what is it? Who makes those cheap things that everyone keeps spending $300-400 for needlessly? I can't remember, but they suck. I've seen what's inside of them. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. But either way, there you go. There's some Atari stuff in my local market. Hopefully you're able to make it this long. I don't even know how long I've been recording for. You know what? That should be a thing that they have on here. And if they do, I just don't know how to pull it up. But either way, what was your favorite? That one fucking ColecoVision deal. What are you going to do? Some people, they just don't know, or they're... I would say it was a troll if I didn't look at the rest of the stuff on their page, but... Que sera. Guys, wherever in the world you are, I genuinely hope you're doing well. Don't forget to donate to the Alzheimer's Association. The 2025 is kicking off here pretty soon. We just celebrated. We just passed the anniversary of my dad's death, 19 years now, a couple of weeks back. And there's a lot of work to do. But we've made some genuine strides. Medications that are doing some significant work out there. So it's not like it's all for naught, and that's why I push it. We gave away the joystick. Unfortunately, the initial winner never got back to me in time. I had to re-give it away. So that is in the hands of the individual. I believe it was Howard Allen that won it, and I hope they're enjoying it. In fact, I'm going to message them as soon as I'm done with this to see if they are. So, guys, thank you always so much for watching. Don't forget, I'm trying to get to 40, I keep doing that, 10,000 subs by the end of the year. Please help me out. If you have alt accounts, I don't care. I just want to see that number. Then you can all go away. I just want to see if I can physically get to 10 grand by the end of the year. So if you haven't subscribed, please. There's a lot of stuff on this channel. There's games. There's toys. Customs. This is Crane Arm. This is special to me because my mom, this was one of the very last gifts my mom ever gave me. It was one of those things that you spike into the ground. It had a solar panel here and it lit up at night. But I said, no, I'm making a custom Motu figure out of that guy. And I did. So, and we're going to be finishing up the Indy 500 driving peripheral for the Atari 2600 here pretty soon, and I do have a Stomper style. It's called Rough Riders that I want to restore on video and then go outside and play with it. I just haven't had the... I just don't feel like pulling out the soldering iron right now. I just spent 3 months soldering. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I know that was a lot. Just be well. Be cool to each other. And until next time, take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye.